Good morning. My name is Chuck Ralls, and as she said, I am a city manager. Too often, we identify ourselves by our titles and not who we really are. And so beyond a city manager, I am a husband, a father, a community leader, and a volunteer. Today, that's what we're here to talk about, is volunteering. Looking back many years ago, back in the early 90s, probably before most of you were even born, I got involved in clubs in my high school. And it was a personal goal to see how many clubs I could join, to see how many pages on the yearbook I could get on. And through that, I was on the science club and the drama club and the chess club. But it wasn't until I ran for student council that I really learned about volunteering. And from that point till now, I've had the opportunity to serve all over Northern and Central America, volunteering and serving communities. One of the greatest opportunities I had was several years ago, went to North Dakota to serve on an Indian reservation to help restore a community that had been devastated. Currently, I serve in several different boards that are passionate to me or that either bring benefit to my community. They include healthcare, tourism, environmental, and energy. And I'm passionate, and I look forward to those opportunities to serve. One of the things that we struggle with in today's society is generational diversity. We have a lot of people that are willing to serve, but they're very one-sided. And so we need to bring generations together to bring that diversity. And you're looking at people like myself that have been volunteering for years involved in these organizations that have a lot of institutional knowledge where we can talk about the way things have been done. And we're great at encouraging others. But what we need are people to step up, bring in that enthusiasm, bring in new vision and strong backs to help us continue leading and serving our communities. One of the things about volunteering with young people, 2/3 of all adults started volunteering when they were in their teens. Currently, less than 25% of teenagers are engaged in volunteering, and we need to get those numbers up. And that's why I'm here to talk to you about the opportunities and the benefits of engaging in volunteering and community service. One of the reasons that people often stay out of volunteering and community service is because they don't think that they matter. And I'm here to tell you that your opinion counts. Your voice matters. And I want you to understand that, regardless of what is holding you back, that can be overcome. You may ask yourself, will your voice be heard? And I can assure you that your opinion, especially in areas that you're passionate about, will bring a new sense of direction for these organizations. And one person can make a difference. Every day you make the difference in somebody's life, whether it's with a smile, with a joke, with any kind of interaction that you're having with other people, you're making a difference. So I challenge you to step up and make that difference on a community-wide basis. And when it comes to intelligence, you're all smart. You're intelligent in your own capacity through your personal experiences. And so I challenge you to take that and apply it. Another concern that people have is that they may be judged. And we live in a very judgmental society, and you're judged for everything that you do. The choice is yours on how you will be judged. If you choose to get involved in your community, you will be judged for somebody that's giving back as opposed to someone that is taking. Knowledge versus wisdom. There's a lot of opportunity to gain knowledge. Many of you are students here, and I'm sure that we probably have some nursing students in the audience. And I'll tell you that your knowledge in nursing and first aid is far superior to mine. When it comes to a cut, just slap some duct tape on it and move on. But you have learned how to treat wounds, and so there's a distinct knowledge there that you've gained. Wisdom, on the other hand, comes from either life experiences, information that may have been passed down from someone, and then just trial and error, sometimes just good common sense. One of the wisest people that I've ever known was my grandfather. And I remember in middle school sitting in his office, and he was a city manager, and people would come in and ask him for his ideas, his thoughts, his opinions on certain things. And I was amazed at how he could just rattle off and talk about, what they needed to do to be able to solve that problem. Now, over 30 years later, I'm sitting in the same office, in the same chair, answering the same questions. And it's not because I'm some genius, it's just through life experiences, I understand how to handle certain situations. And so I'm thankful for that opportunity. Social awareness, you have to know what's going on around you to be able to have a voice, to be able to contribute. You must know what's happening in your community, in your environment. And I know in this community, walkability is a hot topic, and they're looking at ways to get people healthy, get people moving, and you have an opportunity. I know your mayor very well, and I encourage you to go talk to him. If you have ideas on how you can improve your community through walkability, through events, reach out to them, make a phone call, and it doesn't matter how young you are, how old you are, they're willing to listen to you, and that way you can have that feedback on how that your community is going to continue to grow. Personally, as a community leader, I'm still only aware of about 80% of what goes on in my community. I try to stay plugged in, I try to stay engaged, but there's so much happening that it's just hard to catch it all. But if you reserve and pull back, you're not going to know what's going on, and your community is going to pass you by. Growing value in your community, you all have value. I will tell you that for every hour served in a volunteer capacity equates to about $25 an hour. And I'm sure that some of you aren't making that much, but you can contribute that much to an organization. Annually, you're looking at about $184 billion that are contributed to organizations through volunteering and community service. But you're also adding value to yourself. You're learning, you're growing as a person, you're bringing value to the organization that they may not have had without you. So how do you get involved? What are some of the opportunities that you have to be able to engage in your community? It's just so much out there, so much is going on. And so we'll look at a few things. First is just traditional volunteering. That's the boots on the ground. Get out there, find something to do, whether it's through a nonprofit or just you and a friend go out to the park and start picking up trash. You know, it's very easy to engage and get involved. You can call your Chamber of Commerce and look for community events. They're always looking for volunteers that would be able to step up and help with trash collection, directing people. There's just so many different opportunities there. As you go out into the workforce, I encourage you to look for companies and apply with companies that promote volunteering. Some offer paid time off for you to go and volunteer. Others offer bonuses based on the number of hours that you serve each year. Personally, I pay my employees, if we have a local community event, I pay them to go out for a day and get involved. They stay on the clock. It benefits them. It benefits the community. It's a low commitment, high reward. You can volunteer as little as you want or as much as you want. I encourage you to try to get to 10 hours a month. You know, that's one day a month, a couple of hours every weekend. But just step out there, and the more that you start doing it, the more you're going to want to engage and get involved. Another opportunity is internships. I'm really big on interns. I have 2 currently working with us. But this is an opportunity for you to gain both knowledge and wisdom and give back. Some of these are paid, some are unpaid. They can be very competitive, so there could be an application process involved. But it gives you an opportunity to get into a company that possibly aligns with what you're wanting to do long-term as a career. But you can get engaged and learn about that company, about that industry. And it also looks great on a resume. So if you're going out and applying for a job, stick that internship or that volunteering onto your resume. Personally, before I look at your education, I'm going to look at what job experience you have and how much opportunity you've had to serve as an intern or volunteering, because that shows me that you're not a lazy person, that you're willing to work. It will give you, again, insight on your career path, and it's a way to gain great knowledge and wisdom. Mentorship is another way, and I'll tell you that nonprofits have been slow to adapt and engage in mentorships, whereas the corporate world has done this well for many years. The opportunity for mentors comes and goes. They're going to change throughout the years. You can have mentors in your professional career, in your personal life. I encourage you to always have 2 people in your life, one that is mentoring you and one that you're mentoring. You should always be passing along what you've learned. It doesn't matter how old you are, you have something that you can pass on to others. And it's a great way to network and get references. If you complete an internship, you'll oftentimes get a letter of recommendation, which is something that I provide. I've got several interns that I've had through the years come here, and mentors that I've had come to this university. And anytime they complete, I give them a letter of recommendation. And then if they call me later on and ask for another one, I'm able to highlight their skills and their talents, things that I've picked up on. And coming from someone that's respected in the community carries a lot of weight. I'll tell you, going back many years ago before we had cell phones, I was getting into my career. I had a great mentor, and we didn't have cell phones, so I had to stop by payphones. Anybody heard about payphones? I still know my mentor's phone number by heart. I don't know my kids' phone numbers because they're in my cell phone, but I can still remember his number, and I could call him up. He's in his 80s now. I could call him up, and I know that he's going to answer, and he's going to talk to me. But it's a great opportunity for you to really engage. Finally, one of the things I'm most passionate about is local government. Being a city manager, I'm encouraging young people to get involved because I want to know what you're passionate about. What direction do you want to take our community going forward? And local government has the greatest impact on people's daily lives. You hear a lot about federal government, state government on TV and on the news, but you rarely see what's going on in local government. And they are contributing to your daily life through laws and policies and procedures. And there is an opportunity for both appointed and elected positions. You can run for an office, but you can also serve on committees, planning committees, organizations that are deciding, how your community is going to be developed. And then you have the ability to influence that development. It also provides you the opportunity to provide physical accountability. Some cities don't spend your money the way that they should, and by having that voice and engaging, you can contribute to that. And it's a small commitment, typically 1 or 2 evenings a month, depending on what you choose to do, but it's an easy way to get involved. So in closing, I just want to say that, get involved, get out, get off the couch, find something to do, find something that you're passionate about, because only you can make a difference in your community, and now is the time to start. I'm looking for communities that engage students, and I try to engage them. I know that this community it really reaches out and tries to engage with college students and even high school students to get their opinion, because long term, you are the one that's going to be living here, and it's going to be your home. So do that. Volunteering provides many benefits. It's going to help you live a longer, healthier life. It's going to help you find a better job, probably higher income, and it's going to improve your community overall. So thank you so much for allowing me to come and speak with you today. I wish you much success, and go volunteer. Thank you.